everybody, it's David Clow here running for mayor in Welland. This is a really important video, so I'm hoping you'll watch it right through to the end. You may have noticed online that it seems like I'm battling against our mayor, that I'm battling against Lucas Spinoza, that I'm battling against all the other candidates and the city council, and it's because I am. Our mayor is a liar. He is lying to the entire city of Welland right now, and he's trying to steal the election. He's not willing to debate me, and we see a lot of things going on right now online, a lot of attention in the newspaper, a lot of people talking about what's going on here during this election, because I'm creating a lot of attention around what's going on because it's really important that I do so. You'll see two different things going on that I want to bring up, and it all comes back to corruption. I have a new sign out front that says end the corruption, and a friend of mine came by and said, can you say that? Can you say end the corruption? And I said, well, no, you can't if there's not, but in this case I can. It's definitively corrupt here. Another friend of mine said to me about a year and a half ago or so, he said, you're not going to be able to become mayor. And I said, why? He said, they're not going to let you. And I said, who is they? And what do you mean they're not going to let me? And I had no clue what he was talking about back then, but now I do. I completely understand it. When I first said that I was going to run for mayor, I was talking to Lucas, trying to make up with him and get him to stop being the way he is. And he said to me, you're going about this all wrong. You need to do like everybody else does. You need to start working with the council and the mayor and be more like the other politicians. And I said, no, that's absolutely not what I want to do. I want to do the exact opposite. I need to call them out. They're corrupt, and everybody knows that. There's all these photos of you online with all these people that keep getting exposed in the newspapers, and do you not read the paper? Do you not see what's going on? And it's not me that's doing the wrong thing, it's you. So I have been at odds with all the other councillors because they know what's going on. I was sitting on the canal bank last week talking with Leanna Villela at one of the events at the floating stage, and I said to her, she admitted that it was her and Graham Speck that had issued the most recent complaint against the mayor and city council because of their contravention of the Municipal Act, and they were found to be, in fact, in contravention of the Act. And I said to them, you guys issued the complaint. Why are you not talking about it? Shouldn't you bring this up publicly? And Leanna said, oh gosh, I could never do that. And I just thought, wow, they're all in on this together. Another friend of mine came up to me recently and said, what about all the campaign signs? How are all these candidates having all their signs together in the same spot? And I said, it's because they're all working together. They all want the exact same thing. If you look over behind Bogner there, they're calling it the Wall of Fame. All these candidates are putting their signs up together. And that's not how politics work. We're supposed to be representing the constituency, not representing the status quo. And I'm going against the status quo, and that's why I'm getting attacked online, because if you're getting rich off the status quo, you don't want anything to change, and nothing is going to change. And I want to talk about the corruption at City Hall, because they're just trying to make out as though I'm the bad guy. They're trying to shoot the messenger as their strategy, but it's flawed logic, because I'm not the one at fault here. I'm talking about things that the public needs to know. If you Google Welland City Council Ombudsman, those words, you'll find multiple different instances starting in 2014, leading up to just recently in 2017, where Mayor Campion and the Welland City Council have been found in contravention of the Municipal Act in multiple different instances. And guess what it's for? Hidden meetings and secret votes. Now, this is important because you'll be seeing in the newspaper that the mayor has been dodging my debate. Why is he dodging the debate? He's saying because I'm being a bully and I'm threatening and I'm harassing and I'm intimidating him. And the reason why he's saying that I'm being negative is because I'm talking about how he's been found in contravention of the Municipal Act. To Mayor Campion, that's a negative thing. He's saying that I'm being threatening by telling him that we had a meeting last year and I said to him, sir, if you get found to be found in collusion with all this behavior that they're investigating, your career is going to implode. And he said, yeah, I know. And so I asked him recently, I said, sir, are you sticking to by what you said? Like, shouldn't you resign? So to him, that's threatening. but these are questions that need to be asked. The other thing he said was that I was harassing him. Well, that's really important because the last person that asked Mayor Campion these questions, he said was harassing him, and they filed a lawsuit against him and sued him. A Niagara resident that was just asking the same questions. Mayor Campion will say he doesn't want to debate me because I recorded him in a secret recording during one of our recent meets last year. And he said that's why he did that. But you need to understand why I recorded that. During the meeting, I asked Mayor Campion if he was going to sue me. And he said, well, it depends what you say. And I said, well, I'm going to be asking the same questions that Ed Smith asked you, that you sued him for. And he couldn't deny the fact that he would sue me as well for asking those same questions. Those are the same questions that he doesn't want to answer in the debates. That's why he's not debating. He's lying to everyone. Mayor Campion wants to make out like I am the one who's being the bully. All I'm asking are questions that the public wants to ask. Mayor Campion is not willing to answer these questions. He says that he is, but he really isn't. He will answer that it was an in-camera meeting and he can't speak about how they sued Ed Smith for the exact same behavior that I'm exhibiting now. He'll say that he can't talk about it and that he was against it. If you ask him about what's in the newspaper about the hiring practice at the Niagara region, where they hired their buddy from the MPCA, he'll tell you that he can't talk about that and that he wasn't for that anyways. But he did. He voted for it. And these are the same excuses that Mayor Campion uses over and over and over again. He says he'll answer the questions, but his answer is, sorry, that was an in-camera meeting and I can't speak about it. The reason why he's able to use this excuse is because he goes to these in-camera meetings all the time. These are the laws he's being found in contravention of. If you look here, it says, this is from Cindy Forrester, and it was also supported by the conservative, Sam Osterhoff, the MPP. So on both sides of the political spectrum, we have them speaking against the MPCA because it says here, they have gone rogue. It is a toxic work environment. I'm looking here at another report where it says that more than 85% of the MPCA staff say that their workplace is harmful to mental health. It says here, they did a stress survey and 2/3 experienced workplace bullying. That is Mayor Campion. That is him and his buddies. Let's go back to this article here about the MPCA. Suing and bullying of citizens and local representative. The censuring and forced resignation of Bill Hodgson. The forced removal of Albert Garofalo on the advisory committee at the MPCA. So I'm looking here at another article, and this is from September 14th of this year from the Welland Tribune. And it was the Lincoln mayor, Sandra Easton, saying that she is disgusted by the backroom deals. The exact same backroom deals I'm referring to that are happening at Welland City Council, at the Niagara region, and here at the MPCA. The one corrupt link, folks, is Mayor Campion. He's there. He's behind all of this. He's voting for the things that they're doing. He is in all these backroom meetings. He has been found to be lying repeatedly to the investigators. I'm looking here at the definition of corrupt, and it says, guilty of dishonest practices, lacking in integrity. Well, if you Google again, Welland City Council Ombudsman, the reports will come up and you'll see repeatedly that Mayor Campion has been lying to the investigators in these reports, saying that it wasn't a hidden meeting with a secret vote. And thankfully, all the other city councilors and the city staff told the truth, and they said that it was in fact a hidden meeting with a secret vote. And you could see that very obviously Mayor Campion was lying. So this is definitively corruption, folks. Mayor Campion is in the newspaper saying that I'm a bully and that I'm harassing him. The last person that he called a bully and the last person he said was harassing him, they sued. They sued him for it. They sued him for defamation, and they lost in court. This is his modus operandi. Anytime he says that someone is asking him any serious questions, he'll say that they're just bullying him and harassing him. Well, that's not the case at all. We were supposed to debate. We would have had a mediator that was there. If I was being such a bad guy, it would have been so obvious in the debates. That would have been the perfect opportunity for him to prove to people what he's saying. But he can't. It's just a lie. I would have been so polite to Mayor Campion, and I would have been able to bring up these questions. Just to sum this all up, This comes down to a few different things here. This is Mayor Campion trying to say that I'm going to be a bully when he's the bully. He's going to try and say that I'm harassing him when I'm just asking him the questions that he sued the last person who he said was harassing him for asking. I am going to be putting pressure on the fact that all the other candidates, except for one, are not willing to admit that our mayor and our city council have been complicit in this behavior. They've been found in contravention of the Municipal Act. None of them are willing to admit it. It's frightening, and I have to call them out on this behavior, and I end up looking like the bad guy. So what we have here is a corrupt mayor and a corrupt council, and we have a bunch of candidates and council members that are not willing to admit the truth. And to me, that's the same thing as lying. I'm going against them all because I'm the only one telling the truth. I'm getting attacked online because I'm the only one willing to admit what's really going on. We need that. And if we don't have that, we're going to have more of the same. What I'm putting forward is a smart city, a transparent government, and that's going to be required with a smart city. Everything will be documented. They won't be able to hide anything. And that's why we haven't had that up till now. So what I'm offering is an end to the corruption. I'm offering a modern Welland. Why don't we have a modernized Welland? Well, it's pretty simple, really. When you're running a corrupt government, corrupt municipal government, and you do everything in a hidden meeting with secret votes, you can't do what I'm proposing we do. I want to put an end to single source funding, where our local government here pays for everything in 100%. And they make the decisions how to go about paying for everything. And that's where the corruption ensues. And by turning the city into a smart city, it will put an automatic end to this corrupt hidden behavior. Everything will be transparent, recorded, documented automatically. And by ending single source funding, you'll ensure that the community, philanthropists, and corporations are all working together, deciding together whether or not a project will be successful, whether or not we ought to invest in it. Right now, they make all those decisions behind closed doors. Understand that the last person that asked the mayor these questions at the NPCA, he was sued. And in that recording that I did of the mayor, he admitted that they'd sue me for what I was doing. That's why I recorded the meeting. In the newspaper, you'll hear them talk about how I barged in on city council and interrupted the meeting. People needed to know that the mayor is lying. And I was trying to force that issue. I needed people to understand that if our city council is not following the law and they're going behind closed doors and doing secret meetings, then they're the ones that are disrespecting the authority of the position. They're the ones that are disrespecting the institution, not me. I interrupted the meeting to point that out. I recorded the mayor so people can know that you have to record the mayor, so that people can hear that his answers are just that it's an in-camera meeting and I can't talk about that. And I wasn't supportive of that, even though he was. I needed people to see that these are lies, that he's lying to us. He's not willing to come to the debate. Oh, well, the debate's canceled because I'm a bully? He's the bully. The reports prove it over and over and over again. Anyone that knows Mayor Campion, anyone that goes to the meetings knows that he's the bully. In the most recent newspaper report, and all the time I send them, they ask me to send them my side of the story, and every time I do, I send, the exact amount of words that they want, and they never print it. It never goes in. None of the words I'm putting forward go in. In this most recent article, it said that I said that Welland's a shithole. Well, I did use those words, but those words were in the middle of a much longer sentence, where I said our mayor, for many, many years now as a councillor and now as mayor, has been allowing this city to turn into the shithole it is right now. And I'm sorry, but I have to be honest. I had some students come in and visit the hub the other day from Vietnam, and they are students at Niagara College, and I asked them what they thought of Welland, and they hated it. And they said it's so boring and it's depressing, and I was like, oh, I know, that's why I'm running for mayor. I'm trying to turn that around. They said that I said that it was a shithole, but I said that it's become a shithole under the mayor. and that not 1 month would go by where I'd allow these places to look the way they do, for the actions to go on the way they do. I'll have police walking the beat every day to make sure that this is a safe community. If I have to, I'll get a gallon of paint, or as many gallons of paint as I need, and I'll go and paint these buildings out front. You can see the young lady across the street next to Spinoza's took it upon herself to paint the front of her building because she sees how bad it is. These candidates put all their signs up together on buildings that are falling over and dilapidated, and fences that are falling over. I go and I take the photos of it. I can't believe it. They're calling it a wall of fame behind Bogner's, that plywood that's screwed onto the building. It's a wall of shame. This is not what Welland should be. Lucas's sign across the street, a big huge sign on top of plywood that's been there on the front of a building for a decade. I won't let any of it happen. I'm here to turn Welland around, and you can believe me or you can believe the mayor's lies, but I'm the only one talking. I'm the only one telling the truth.